Subsidized high-speed internet service for thousands of Barbadians. A new national policy for schools which will involve security. Preparations underway for the state funeral of the late Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Lloyd Erskine Sandiford. And in sports, Wales puts 11 past Silver Sands as their dominance of the BFA continues.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening, I'm Pearson Bowen. Thousands of Barbadians will soon be accessing cheaper high-speed internet service. It's being done through a private-public sector partnership program called JUMP. Prime Minister Mia Motley says the plan, which involves the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs and Flow, will deliver low-income connections to several locals. Other Caribbean households will also benefit from the JUMP arrangement, which is being rolled out in other territories in association with the telecommunications provider.
This is a national public good. This is a global public good, bridging the digital divide. And I want to salute my minister, Kirk Humphrey, and the officers in his ministry for stepping up to the plate with Flow and allowing this to be a reality. And I want to thank Flow for agreeing when we push back on the speed from 60 megabit MPS to now 125.
Well, Barbados' contract was signed during a ceremony at the Sandals Royal Resort by Minister of Elder Affairs and People Empowerment Kirk Humphrey and Flow's country manager Desron Bino. Prime Minister Motley says the initiative will touch a cross-section of families.
Do not let this be a dual partnership with Flow and the government of Barbados alone. All of us live here, and all of us have a responsibility to do a little something to be able to ensure that we can get those persons who are not capable of accessing these services in a position to benefit and build from it.
A new set of rules are being developed to govern the operation of schools in Barbados. Among them will be protocols to address violence. Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Kay McConney, spoke about the plan at the St. Philip South BLP Annual General Meeting at the Rice's Pavilion in St. Philip yesterday. Trevor Thorpe has more.
The policy is being developed amid a number of recent security breaches at schools, including one in which a student was allegedly assaulted. Minister of Education, Kay McConney, says an audit team is already at work to meet the proposed deadline.
It's a lot of work to be done in a short period of time, because understand you have 68 primary schools, you have 21 secondary schools, and then you have your special needs and other schools. So get that it is a lot of work that we have to do in a very short period of time.
All schools will be included in the exercise.
And then once that audit is completed, we know, and here is the standard to which we want to bring all schools, and then we start the process of moving. We set the policy and then we move in the process. So just letting you know that we are addressing this and we take it seriously. We take it seriously. And while each school will have its own security arrangements, because every school plan is different, there will also be a broader national policy with certain standards to which we will be moving.
The Education Minister says they are working on creating global citizens of our children in a system that is fair, inclusive, and modern.
So we are not only looking at the physical infrastructure, how do we improve it, but at the digital infrastructure, how do we improve that? And we recognize that the legislation we have in this country that dates back many years, I believe it was updated even in the 80s perhaps, but it still does not serve a modern school system. We will have to look at that too. And so we have subcommittees looking at all of these areas, and these are of local, regional, and international experts working with us to make sure that when we start to put the further basics in place to make that transition from one house to the next, that we have what we need in place to be able to make a solid start.
The Education Minister adds Barbados has to look after the social learning of its children in an effort to create the individuals that are able to contribute constructively to society. Trevor Thorne, CBC News.
Meanwhile, Agriculture Minister and Member of Parliament for St. Philip's South, Indar Ware, has announced a new program that will involve the growing of produce for local consumption overseas. He says through the projects, which with Guyana and Venezuela, Barbadian farmers will get the opportunity to cultivate land in those countries to send back home food which cannot be grown locally.
We have serious problems with pawpaw in Barbados. There's a disease called bunchy top disease that kills out the pawpaw trees. I've been fighting for us to find a space to be able to grow all the pawpaw we want. We used to grow pawpaw all about the place in your backyard everywhere. Look at the trees and see how the top is drying up. And we have now found an opportunity to be able to grow these fruits offshore to be sent to Barbados. We have a problem with texture screening. Where your lime trees? How many of you see a lime tree dry up at home? Can't bring it back because of a disease. And these diseases we do not have cures for.
Well, there's a call for important issues related to mental health to be introduced from the primary school level to help impart important information and knowledge at the earliest possible stage. It's coming from consultant psychiatrist Dr. Joy Sue, who was a guest on the current affairs program The People's Business last evening. The focus was on mental health, including recent cases of suicide that have impacted families across the island.
Where the young people are concerned, I think we should be getting into the primary schools really and trying to teach kids more about, making them more aware of mental health, trying to really demystify and destigmatize the idea of mental health, getting them to be aware of what problems they may get with their mental health and what are the signs that may occur. Also getting the teachers and the persons within the school, their parents also more aware of these things, and helping to teach children how to cope when they face certain challenges from an early age. That's one of the things you can do to help prevent later suicides from occurring. I can say that PAHO is supposed to be doing a mental health literacy training with staff in the schools, and hopefully that will be on board soon.
Dr. Sue also notes the existing laws surrounding mental health are outdated when compared with other territories. Clinical psychologist, the Reverend Dr. Marcus Lashley, also weighed in on the issue of mental health legislation.
We have had attempts at revising our Mental Health Act. Sitting in the office of the Chief Parliamentary Counsel for over 20 years. That is absolutely ridiculous. If we as a nation are taking mental health seriously, then we have to stop revising the revisions and simply get on with passing a new Mental Health Act. It is critical. As Dr. Sue mentioned, there are so many things that have changed in the world, and there are emerging needs that need to be addressed in terms of our legislation. And that we have had such an impact from COVID on mental health of our citizens, then this piece of legislation has to be a priority for this government.
Meanwhile, Dr. Sue also believes a dedicated suicide hotline must be established as a priority. She says it can be government or private sector led. And a community activist is seeking to establish a mental health hotline in the coming weeks to assist Barbadians or anyone who may be facing challenges. He is Janal Brown. While he's been hosting counseling sessions for many years, he says the decision stems from realizing others need an outlet or somewhere to turn.
What we'll do in the next few days, we'll try to put up something and where people could be able to call, I have a certain time. But then if we can have people that would volunteer, because the thing is about life is that, you need volunteers. You need people, whoever, that will labor in the field concerning that issue. And as we start to set that up, we'll be able to build support systems.
We'll take a break here, but coming up, preparations underway for the state funeral of late Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Lloyd Erskine Sandiford. A Barbadian-born former British soldier is suggesting the need for a military-style camp for young people with behavioral issues. Michael Leacock started out as a driver for the Army before being sent to study at the Defense College of Intelligence. He worked as an intelligence analyst and operated in Afghanistan and received communications with honors. He was a guest on Morning Barbados, where he shared his views on some of the societal issues being seen in Barbados.
I did some volunteer service for Verdun House. And the addicts, I would teach them, some military stuff like exercise training and stuff, and to build character. And it was going well. And I think that we need something like a boot camp for children who have issues. And I mean a proper boot camp. I mean something that they live in, they stay there until they've reached that point where we think that they can go into normal schools or into the society, to be productive people. I think we need, rather than prison and Dodson and the junior side of things, we need some place that kids can go and learn different skills and different trades while they are there and not feel imprisoned, but more in a military setting to create that discipline.
Without the stigma.
Members of the armed forces have been going through the paces in preparation for the state funeral of the late Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Lloyd Erskine Sandiford. Sir Lloyd, the country's fourth Prime Minister, died on the 26th of June at the age of 86. His state funeral will be held at St. Peter's Parish Church on Friday the 14th, beginning at 1:30 in the afternoon. Ahead of this, Sir Lloyd will lie in state at the Parliament buildings in Bridgetown on Wednesday the 12th and at the Democratic Labour Party's headquarters the following day. Well, this morning, a rehearsal was held at George Street in St. Michael. Former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Maxine McLean, is representing the DLP on the planning committee for the state funeral.
Today we have parties from the Barbados Defence Force and the Barbados Police Service doing what is normally done, and that is to have a complete rehearsal of the exercise. And after that, we will prepare for the setting up of a condolence book, which will be here at party headquarters from today until Thursday evening. The lying in state at Democratic Labour Party headquarters in George Street will be on Thursday the 13th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m.
As the Gordon Greenwich School celebrates its 30th anniversary, it has been honouring past and present staff. During an anniversary awards dinner at the Sugar Cane Club over the weekend, both ancillary and teaching staff received tokens for their contributions over the years. The event signalled the end of its week-long celebrations. Stressing school is as good as its staff, Principal Mary Archer says she and her team remain committed to maintaining a culture of excellence.
We are here to serve our community, the Black Bess community. We're here to serve the Rock Dunder, the Sion Hill, and we are happy to be of service to these people. The little ones you send to us, they are precious, and we want to maintain a standard of excellence at the Gordon Greenwich Primary School for the next 30 and more years.
And parliamentary representative for St. James North, where the school is situated, Edmund Hinkson, congratulated the school on reaching the milestone.
First, wish to congratulate the school on 3 decades of existence. Of course, the school's motto includes excellence, and the patron of the school epitomizes excellence, Sir Gordon Greenwich, one of the most outstanding opening batsmen the world has ever seen. And as I told the students, and I know a few parents are here, your children would have heard me say on Wednesday, the aim of any government, the primary objective, in fact the duty of the state, is to try to bring out the best in our students, in students of this country, in the children of this country.
Hurley's Close Boscobel resident Rita Small has 100 reasons to smile tonight. She joined the elite club of centenarians today with a visit from the President of Barbados, Dame Sandra Mason, and generations of family and friends. While the mother of two uses a wheelchair nowadays, her daughter and caretaker Cheryl Boyce says her mother is still very much spirited as she battles a few ailments.
She was strong. You know, I never thought to see her in this condition, but it was 22 years ago where she came down with diabetes and she lost her leg. But, you know, I was worried, but she wasn't worried. She said it was painful and she asked the doctor to take it off. So we gave her prosthesis and she was able to help. She used to help herself 100%. But she's at the point now I have to take care of her. I never thought at 22 years she would live with that prosthesis. It's wonderful. I think it is good.
Miss Boyce has been sharing her fond memories of the grandmother of 3 and great-grandmother of 1.
When she was going to school, she got a little sewing kit as the best behaved girl. But it was so old, I threw it in the garbage. She told me, find the dump and bring it back. I promised her when I work, I would buy her a kit. So when I returned with the kit, she said to me, you like the lady in Golden Girls? So she said, I don't like it. But I'm not sure if she remember. But I just turned away, and I still have the kit.
Time for us to head into the sports world with Damien Best. Damien, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Pearson. Good evening to our viewers and listeners. We start with some football news. It was a goal feast last evening when action in the BFA Premier League continued at the Wildy Turf. Both Britton Hill and Ellerton took over second and third place in the standings on 32 points and 30 points respectively, while leaders Weymouth Wales hammered Silver Sands 11-0 to move to 40 points. Triple header in the BFA Premier League. First up, Britton Hill in red versus Deacons. Britton Hill were camped out in the Deacons half of the field for the most part. Corey Hoyt set the tone for what was to come in the 12th minute. That one off the right boot. Ray Francis added a second in the 21st minute from just inside the 18. Then Hoyt, who also assisted with that goal, registered his second, and Britton Hill third of the half. 43rd minute, connecting the dots, and Hoyt side-footed past the keeper. Let's go second half. No Deacons in a deep hole. Well, a pit really. Mistakes were being punished, and rightfully so. 76th minute, the goalkeeper unable to deal with the back pass. Hoyt just waiting, and that, my friends, is his hat-trick. Top form of the season, 4-0 now. It was playground stuff after that. Deacons just marking time. Ramel Bino getting on the score sheet in the 77th minute. Then Terrence Coppin says, I'll have a go. Direct route to the goal, sealing the 6-0 win for Britton Hill over Deacons. Second match was a nightmare as well for Silver Sands in red, who were up against the leaders, Weymouth Wales. Shaquille Boyce not only scored the opening goal of this match, but it was the first of his beaver trick. Wales showing a lot of quality going forward. Silver Sands defense on high alert. Blown assignments, and Boyce handles the business. That's 2-0 after 37 minutes. First half done. The second half was just a blur. 2 minutes in, Arantes Lawrence capped off a surging run down the left with a shot along the carpet. Players were just queuing up, with Boyce achieving his hat-trick in the 51st and his beaver trick in the 56th. Converts from the penalty spot. At this point, Silver Sands had already thrown in the towel. And with that said, 6 more goals were scored. Arantes Lawrence completed his brace. Sharon Hoyt got a hat-trick in the 72nd, 82nd and 88th minutes, while there was a goal apiece for Andre Applewhite and Jonash Dunai in the 61st and 80th minutes, respectively. The final analysis, Weymouth Wales hammering Silver Sands 11-0. Silver Sands cemented at the bottom of the table. In the nightcap game, Ellerton in all over blue dished out a 3-0 result against Paradise. Anson Barrow splitting 2 defenders and converting 1-0 at the break. Second half business, Paradise displayed fearless defending, But Shane Codrington in the 57th broke that resistance before Tyra Warren wrapped up the assignment in the 88th minute. Allerton coming away with the 3 points and a 3-0 win.
Well, the Lodge School have booked their place in the final of the Barbados Secondary Schools Under-14 Cup competition. Lodge registered a dramatic 5-4 win on penalties against Queen's College at the Combermere School grounds recently and will take on Dighton Griffith on Thursday in the final.
Showdown in the Under-14 boys competition, the Lodge School versus Queen's College in red and white. The Lodge School's point of attack down the left side in the very first minute. Well, what a start. Zach King finds the back of the net. The Lodge School won, QC 0. QC picked up the pieces and started stringing some passes together. 18th minute, Rashid Hodge settles and measures the strike from distance. Goalkeeper left stranded. We're tied at 1-1. 3 minutes later, Hodge with the direct free kick. A special delivery. How sweet it is. QC up 2-1 at halftime. Switch of ends, second half business. Corner kick coming in, 39th minute. Taraji Chase, cheeky little flick. Game on. It's 2-2. Confidence back in the Lodge School camp. Pressing for the go-ahead goal now. 40th minute. Kevio Bellamy gets first-class service. Right place, right time. A judge onside. And the Lodge School lead, 3-2. Supporters right in the thick of things. Corner kick to QC, 42nd minute. Defender, ill-advised header into the mixer. And Reese Cozier using that height off the forehead and buried. 3-3 now. In fact, it stayed that way at the end of regulation time. Sudden death penalties required to decide who advances. Both teams converted 2 of their penalties, but missed the third. QC took the lead to make it 3-2 after the goalkeeper stuffed this attempt. However, the Lodge School custodian also stepped up to the plate, opting to go left. And after the Lodge School leveled at 3-3, the teams were tied at 4 apiece. Back and forth they went, but it was 2 crucial saves from Jaheim Marshall to deny the 7th and 8th penalty takers that gave the Lodge School the 5-4 win on penalties. Great contest.
Indeed, well, Dighton Griffith defeated the Ceyloners boys team 2-0 in the second semi-final. Well, it's going to be a repeat of the last primary school netball final when Shirley Chisholm meet All Saints in the 2023 Rubisco NSC Championship match. Today at Folkestone in the semis, All Saints defeated St. Martin's Mangrove 4-2, led by goal attack Aaliyah Redmond with 100% accuracy, making 4 of 4 attempts. Meanwhile, Shirley Chisholm blanked St. Jude's 9-0, with goal shooter Makaya Ramsey Best also having a perfect 6 from 6, and goal attack Samaya Brooms 3 from 3. The final is set for Wednesday at the Willie Gymnasium. Well, the last primary school final in 2019 saw Vauxhall, now Shirley Chisholm, taking the title against All Saints.
Now to business. A call tonight against smuggling agricultural products into Barbados is coming from Minister of Agriculture, Food and Nutritional Security, Indar Ware, who was speaking at the BLP's St. Philip South meeting at Rice's St. Philip. He wants people to follow the protocols and protect local agriculture and the island on a whole. Mr. Ware says trying to bypass the legal channels can have a devastating effect on this country's agriculture industry.
We are battling African swine fever. We're battling bird flu. We don't need it here. I beg all of you, please listen. Follow the protocols and make sure we protect Barbados, because Barbados is our very own. And the moment you try a thing, and everybody want to try a thing, everybody ain't gonna do nothing, ain't gonna hurt nobody, going from the plane in my bag to my kitchen. No, because you're gonna dispose of something, and that's where the problem is.
Well, several young entrepreneurs gained visibility and were able to attract funding at last weekend's Cloth Summer Pop-Up and Expo. Senior Business Development Officer with the Barbados Trust Fund Limited, Nisha Holder, told the Business Report it was a partnership which included Cloth Lifestyle and a number of sponsors. She said the energy exhibited in this year's show made it the success that it was.
Last year was awesome. We're hoping to continue that this year. Last year was awesome. We had a wide range of persons coming in from the public who would have given and supported the small businesses we had in the space. And persons were able to network and, you know, they got a lot of traction last year. So we're hoping to have that same traction this year.
Right, let's get on the track once again. Here's Damien Best.
Yeah, thanks so much, Pearson. The Barbados National Championships came to an exciting end over the weekend at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex. Here's a look at the sprints. National Championships got to go for the under-18 girls 100 meters. Level start from this full field of 8. Alika here with talons starts to apply the pressure in lane 5. Cubmate Naima Taylor in 3 joins the party at 50 meters to go. Harewood turns on the afterburners and settles the argument in 12.28 seconds. Taylor 12.56. Danielle Lewis of Rising Stars up for 3rd. Boys next, Nathan Brathwaite and Jaquan Pilgrim, lanes 5 and 4 respectively, repping Quantum Leap and sharing licks. Bragging rights at stake, Pilgrim pulls the choke and wins it in 10.74 seconds. Brathwaite 10.84, Tyja Bishop gets there for 3rd in 11.09. Under 20 boys had an added degree of difficulty with a sharp shower, blessing the Ryan Brathwaite track before the start. Jadon Pierce of Quantum Leap got away slowly in lane 7. Amari Knight and Amani Maskell Beckles of Extreme Velocity in the middle of the track, surging forward. But it's Knight who steps past the field in 10.47 seconds. Pierce snatches 2nd, 10.63. And Maskell Beckles in loads of pain tumbles at the end, clock 10.87 seconds. More fireworks to come. 7 contesting the Open Women's Final. Kishwana Niles came out of her drive phase in pristine shape and disappeared from the field at 50. The race would be on for 2nd. Shuts the shop in 11.83 seconds. 2nd, Zara Graves of Elite Distance in lane 6, 11.90. And 3rd, Ashley Marshall, 11.94. The Open men was more of a statement from the motherland. Benjamin Asmati of Ghana. That high knee lift equated to forward progression. Darts away from them with disdain. 10.23 seconds. Darian Clark of Quantum Leap. 2nd, 10.54. On his heels, Aragon Straker of Talons. 10.57 seconds. Let's switch things up and head over to the 200-meter mark. Open Women 200-meter final. Anaya Nurse reported to the front after the first 100 meters and hugged the curve nicely in that lane 5. Naya Brown and Tionce Waldron were in the mix as well. 3 coming out through the hard way. Brown trying to split them in lane 4, but it's Nurse, the 15-year-old, who can celebrate 24.39 seconds. Waldron gets 2nd after the photo finish. Brown 24.40 as well. Pouring rain for the men's final. Darian Clark of Quantum Leap in lane 4. Aragon Straker hunting for top place among the 6 Talons athletes. Clark's chest up, motoring, stops the clock in 21.18 seconds. Straker 21.53, and 3rd, Raheem Tate Best 21.75 seconds. National Championships done and dusted. Well, Barbadian wrestler Adrian Maynard has won a silver medal at the Under-20 Pan American Beach Wrestling Championships in Santiago, Chile. Maynard, who just came off of 5th place at the Central American and Caribbean Games in the 77-kilogram division, lost to Peru's Dario Cubas Castillo in the final. Well, the Athletic Association of Barbados has announced the 8-member team for the upcoming NACAC Age Group Championships in the Dominican Republic. The team which leaves the island on Wednesday will include Rogeda Hines and Sarama James in the under-13 girls, Shakobi Giddens and Shamari Roach in the under-13 boys. The under-15 girls are Lamar London and Jazara Lane, and the under-15 boys Zari Edie and Ajani Franklin. The team is being coached by Randy Gooden and Gerard Murray, with Marvo Burke as manager and Javon Mason as the physiotherapist. We wish them all the very best. The NACAC Championships is set for July 15th and 16th. Some cricket news finally. Batting legend Brian Lara has been sharing his expertise with the players in the West Indies camp as the regional side gears up to face India in a 2-test series starting on Wednesday in Dominica. Now, West Indies last played a test series against South Africa in February, March and lost both matches. The Craig Brathwaite-led team finished 8th on the points table in the World Test Championship for 2021-2023. And Lara is the team's performance mentor and was working with the players in Antigua.
I think the guys have been moving in the right direction in terms of, where we started the camp and where we are at this present moment. It's only a few days off from the first test match in Dominica, but a young group, ably led by Craig Brathwaite, of course, but I feel that some of the guys can really come into their own in this series. It's a tough opposition, but I believe that's the way we can get the best out of them.
And that's our time tonight. Thank you for spending it with us. I'm Pearson Bowen. For the crew, to all of you, good night. By God's will, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for visiting us. Now, if you want to see more stories like this one, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can always go to cbc.bb for the latest news and current affairs.